So this was the inspiration for this table, this Homestead butcher block. But the question really is, like, why spend $2,500 on a table when you can build it for 50 grand worth of tools? So I'm about to walk you through the shop up here and the tools that we use to make that table quickly. But I want you to keep in mind through this whole process that you can get started in woodworking with 3 tools. And that's a hand plane, a chisel, and a saw. And that'll really get you going. Of course, you might need some glue and some other stuff. But as far as tools go, you can get a lot done with these 3 tools, probably less than $100 all day. But this is what we used. The first tool is this joiner. This is a wide bed joiner. This is a foot, and it allows you to run larger boards or wider boards over this and then flatten one side. Now, to get that other side parallel to the one that we just started, we come over here to the planer. So let's talk about price. This one is probably about like $7,000 or $8,000. You can get by a whole lot cheaper, but this one's a wide bed, long, whatever these things are called. And it gives you more stability through the process. It's about $7,000 or $8,000. Over here is a planer. This is a 25-inch planer, and when we run the opposite side that we flattened on the joiner through this, it creates 2 parallel surfaces. I got all these glued up on one side, and now I just stand them up on the edges and glue them together. Some people be like, oh, you need application on both sides. Maybe you do. I don't know nothing. And notice I got trash bag on my tabletop. So when this glue inevitably drips, I can still use that face as a reference surface. So here's some clamping action, clamping pressure going in. And you see the squeeze out? That means that there's like real application of glue on there. Look. I'll do it for the cameras. Look, you see how when it goes together, it squeezes out along that joint? You can see that, I know you can. I've glued up some of the stock for the legs, but after I glue it up, I want to take a wet rag and just run it over this glue, and it really makes for a much easier finishing process because I don't have to contend with all the stickiness of this glue. And you saw when I was using the glue scraper on the top, just like all that puddled up stuff. And this will kind of negate some of that. And that's a glue up. So I'll do this like 3 or 4 more times, then I'll make some stretchers and other parts to the table, and then I'll join it all together, and then next time you see it, it should be a finished tabletop in the house. So after all the millwork is done on the joiner, the planer, and the table saw, we're left with some usable lumber. In this case, walnut, that I've glued together for this butcher block countertop. So the mill, like all these little pieces were milled just like we showed you, but now when they're glued together, this makes a really thick top that I can use for like cutting things on. Now I just need to pop these clamps off and build some legs for the table. These strips on the edge are called cawls, and they use it to help you align all these boards. Sometimes with clamps, they will allow for the boards to kind of shift in the glue up process, but putting some cawls on the edge really makes for a better product. They'll probably be stuck on here with some glue, but we'll need to pop them off with like a mallet or some strength. I'm gonna keep doing that to myself because I'll inevitably hit myself in the face when I do it, like I do every time. This is a glue scraper. It's an essential piece of tooling if you're gonna have a wood shop. And it allows you to scrape off all these little pieces of glue that are left behind when you glue things together. It's not so much a problem on this side, but wait till I flip it over, I'll show you what that looks like. Look at all the glue squeeze out on this side. This is why you need a glue scraper. So in the last video, you saw how we started this table in the wood shop. Now you get to see how we're finishing it up and installing it in the house.